Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for July 12th, Monday, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're working on, right now we're mobile, so we don't have a fixed location, so we're working on the audio. Some people have, it might be surprising, but on some people's ends, it's not a good connection, so they think it's our end. And other times it is our end. But we're working, once we get in a fixed location, we'll be able to work on a studio standard sound delivery for everyone, so that we have clear, uninterrupted, unless, we have some little gremlins that come in and want to disturb the audio. So just a heads up for everybody, we've had a couple of people that communicated that we were, static or interrupted or gargled or something. So just want to make sure everybody understands that we're on it. We have a time for change call this Wednesday. We're going to go into root understanding of the civilization, its makeup as far as humanity, going off into many different directions that are probably going to be quite surprising to some people. So, as I said, we're going to discover the root existence of the civilization, the beginning. And what the makeup is. And we'll have a reverse aging health call on Friday. What is fear made of? Fear is made of ignorance of one's own self. That's what fear is made of. Also. Our lives are meant to be a magical manifesting adventure. Isn't that interesting? That we don't have that. We have conflict. In order to experience our greatest magic, power, and freedom, we must choose first to be totally free from the grasp of fear. When our hearts are truly fearless, our souls trust that it's safe to perpetually open up to this life, and nothing feels impossible for us. So we can ask anything of the universe, and it is not too much. The fearless being is the most desired, empowered, and beautiful being in the entire universe. Whatever their heart desires instantly begins to manifest into this world. Now, to some, this probably sounds crazy, ridiculous, absurd, outrageous. Yet when you learn how to transform fear, every moment becomes an invitation to meet the divine. Awaiting within each person is an enlightening, heart-opening, godly experience. The secret to discovering this fearless freedom begins with one simple step. Approach all fear with fascination. When you meet fear with curiosity, life takes you into higher states of expansion instead of deeper, limiting sensations of contraction. Fascination makes you become more open, relaxed, and receptive to the magic that is all around you. And we naturally want to dive into this life and experience each person we meet with endless wonder, curiosity, and this creates more intimacy. It requires tremendous courage to change our relationship with fear. Yet, if we don't, fear will continue to castrate the rest of our lives. Try this experiment this week. Pick one day where you are going to create more freedom in your life by meeting your fear with fascination. Whatever may happen to you in these short 24 hours, don't let any fear shrink you, yet allow it to move through you in such a way that it creates a transformation inside you. Breathe into your fear. Welcome it. When you say yes to it, it will shift before your very eyes. If you can maintain this commitment to yourself for this one day, you might just believe by evening time that you are one of the most fortunate, sacred, and amazing beings who are alive on this planet. The possibility of living in doubt, skepticism, and resistance to this life will always be there. In each moment, fear can sneak in and take on one of these disguises. Doesn't mean you have to pay attention to it. You can choose to ignore any fearful energy or feeling that you sense growing inside you and breathe beyond it. Simply take a look underneath the contracted fear-based energy that most of us are confronted with at one time or another, and we will see that it's an angel in disguise, simply there to help us create deeper roots of love. Fear has the very special and sacred job in our lives. It is going to make sure we don't die without feeling ridiculously alive. If we are not pouncing on our life mission, taking the risk to open our hearts to love every day, believing in the impossible, and reaching for the miraculous, then fear will do its job and start eating at you. We need fear there, yet we don't have to live in it. If our world was completely without the concept of fear, what would we be like? Probably like zombies. There would be no courage or vigilance of awareness. We wouldn't be very accurate at focusing our precious attention and intention into what makes our heart truly sing. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear. Ambrose Redmond. There is a second extra credit homework assignment that I have for all of you, those who are real lovers of fear. For every day of this week, explore a feeling of deep acceptance with your personal relationship with fear. How do you typically respond when fear shows its scary head? Do you run and hide, then retaliate with anxiety? When fear comes into your body, what happens? My invitation is to make this more conscious so that you learn how to use fear instead of being used by it. When you stop feeding fear, fear can feed you. It's just energy. And when you find out how to welcome it in with curiosity, it sharpens and focuses and clarifies our intentions and makes us and our whole body, mind super passionate about what we want to get out of this life. So for this week is no small matter. It will shake you to your roots. This is what it means to do so that the real metamorphosis can begin. Stop resisting fear and start welcoming it in. Learn how to ride the hungry tiger instead of to be eaten by it. You will actually enjoy everything about life again. It's a little unnerving at first, but watch what happens. All of us, none of us are exempt. We are all running away from ourselves in one way, shape, form, or another. Yet, whatever parts we are running away from always end up becoming what we run towards at some point in this lifetime or the next, or the next. Learn how to embrace your fear. Love your fear. and you will form a deeper spiritual respect for this life. You will appreciate all variations of this life and not just be seeking to have easy, good days. Find what it is you truly fear. Love, intimacy, success, failure, whatever it is, invite it in and see how all your ancient phobias instantly flip around and become waves of enthralling fascination. You can have fun with this. You can look forward to each meeting you have with fear. And when you do, you've truly mastered the game, because it is a game, no matter how much you want to argue with yourself. The moment you start seeing life as not serious, a playfulness, all the burden on our hearts disappears. All the fear of death, of life, of love, everything disappears. One starts living with a very light weight or almost no weight. So weightless, one becomes. One can fly in the open sky. Also, the moment you start seeing life as non-serious, a playfulness, how many of us do that? How many? If we can't see God in all, we can't see God at all. If we cannot see God in all things, everything, we can't see God at all. And they see this physical world that we're in, that we're not in, but entertains us. We're all so deeply consumed by the world every day. From the moment we open our eyes in the morning, the mind kicks in and we are flooded with all sorts of beliefs, emotions, and desires. It can become very easy in this day and in this age and this now to feel overwhelmed, lost, or confused. We are constantly dealing with a massive amount of information and social pressure every day. Pressure with finances, relationships, love, life, family, work, health problems are at the foundation. And then there's our newly found technological relationships with what? The cell phone, the internet, and texting. We may spend over half of our days just trying to figure out how to get through it alive. This technological era we are in is so captivating that we can easily miss out on the connection with our amazing spiritual existence. Imagine this for a moment. If we were all surrounded every day by people whose only interest was in achieving enlightenment, our world would be very, very, very different right now. Yet, we have chosen a planet where everyone is still deeply asleep to their divine and light nature. In fact, we are all so asleep that we don't even know that we are asleep. Every human being is sleepwalking through this life, meaning that we are always plugged into the mind. The veil is so thick and the pattern is so deep that we need to use everything we've got to wake up. This means using everything we can find outside of ourselves and inside of us. Any real ecstasy is a sign that we are moving in the right direction. Don't let anything, any prude, any cynic tell you otherwise. Use everything around you to find God. Use every conversation as a vehicle to listen to the divine. Use all your senses everywhere you go. Touch, taste, feel, hear, even breath. And breathe in the smell of divine. Use every moment of your free time to find deep silence, stillness, and inner peace, so you can connect deeper with the divine. Use the media and all the excessive advertising that is constantly dumped onto each and every one of us to find God. When we read something that jumps out at us, try to notice how its spiritual message is just for you. When we feel like we might be making some form of connection to God, breathe that feeling deeply into your body. Stop everything and give this experience all that you've got, because it might not last long. Notice how the feeling resonates with what's going on in your life. Find the practical aspects, like, how does this simple billboard advertisement give me the deepest guidance I'm needing in my relationships right now? There are no coincidences. There never have been, and there never will be. God is already always around us. We only have synchronicity in this life. Everything is perfect and divinely aligned. The God source never, ever makes mistakes. And when we are 100% devoted to finding total alignment with the divine in everything around us, the magic will its way into us. Enlightenment is not for the half-assed skeptical seeker, the protective pessimist, or the mind addict that is super smart intellectual. It's for that ordinary being who has devoted their entire heart and soul to something beyond this world. It's for that simple soul who wants to create the deepest, healthiest relationship with themselves and the God source. The biggest difference of all, perhaps, is that their connection with God is their highest priority all throughout the day. True love, my dear, is putting an ironclad grip upon the soft, swollen balls of a divine rogue elephant and not having the good fortune to die. Habits. It's an interesting perspective. So, are we open to exploring our connection with the divine? Chances are that we all are probably wondering what's the right way and how to do it, or are we feeling hesitant, reluctant, or thinking that maybe this week is not the right time? There will always be super important things which we need to do. Yet, the reality is that our souls have been waiting for real spiritual liberations for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. We have been preparing for a profound spiritual experience forever. We are here to let go of everything and find our real connection to the divine again. We've been learning major life lessons after major life lessons after major life lessons, tilling the hard, tough inner soil inside of us. Just so that one day our souls could find some higher enlightened state of being. We were born to find some way home to ourselves. To find some way home to ourselves. So our minds are always free from all fear, resistance, stagnation, and separation. The enlightened mindset just happens when we return to the pure source of awareness that is behind the mind. When we discover the awareness behind every thought that we are thinking, we become closer to the most sacred intelligence in the universe. This is who we all truly are. And the funny thing is that there's only one tiny thing stopping us from seeing, feeling, and knowing that God is here now. This is our own mind. And this mind is so full of personal beliefs and ideas about this life that there's not much room for anything else. It is overflowing so much that we have become blind to God. Watch out for the mind. It is the only thing stopping us right now. If we want to try something, even this week, the next time you're in front of a mirror Look non-judgmentally into the mirror and just notice, what do you see? We aren't talking about facial features or skin tone or anything. Do you see how amazing, multidimensional, and extremely beautiful you truly are? Or do you see all of your flaws and shortcomings? If the mind is not set aside, we can only see and hear what it thinks is good and bad. And the mind can be extremely judgmental, and this is pure entertainment for the ego. We really don't like being bored. So we cling to all sorts of opinions about right and wrong. And as long as we are over-identified with and attached to opinions of good and bad, we cannot spiritually awaken. So just remember that all of this life is literally a grand play. And the nature of the mind is to create contrast and comparisons. The mind doesn't like the gray middle path. When the mind is too empty, it seeks something juicy to fill it. Let go of filling up the mind. Find the spiritual being that you are. This is in silence and stillness within. Interestingly, the heart is not judgmental at all. The heart only loves, accepts, and embraces what is. So don't trust the mind. Trust your heart instead. Be free of the mind and just remain in the heart. You will soon, in time, find the divine. And this is a miracle. The moment that you realize that there is no way to make a home, then this whole existence is home. Then wherever you are, you're at home. Of course, in miracles. Every day we get lost in the sea of duality. The pendulum will swing back and forth from being lost to being found again and again. Our minds are not the only minds out there that is making a living hell or heaven out of each moment. Everyone is doing this. We are all blind to the divine. We simply choose to learn how to release all attachments, trust in God, and surrender to its totality. When we take this risk to dissolve back into the source, in each moment we naturally discover how everything around us is helping and guiding us to be free. The good news is that we've gotten 1 billion more lifetimes to become enlightened. God is never, ever going to stop loving us. The bad news is that if postponed, we would miss out on the 1,000 opportunities heading our way today. There's no real end to this journey. You don't die. When you die, so truly there is nothing to be concerned about. When you realize, when we all realize that we are an eternal beings, what's there to be worried or feared about? What is there? There isn't. We are on an infinite journey. We are always safe and on that right path. We've made it this far, and we are still a very conscious and deeply sensitive being. This is a very, very, very good sign. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do, relax the body. You can get so good at relaxing your body, you could do it anywhere. You go in, when you're with yourself, just go into total silence. Be as still as a board. You don't force it. It's easy to do. And you release all the tension, fear, anxiety, stress. As soon as you go within, all that stress, tension, fear, and anxiety just literally melts away. And we all have it. Some of us don't know it because we're so used to it. Others know it but ignore it. And then others know it and don't ignore it. It's all about going within. It's about being quiet and focused. just in the now. That's it. That's how you really relax that body you're in. And then, when you do this, the body becomes really light, almost like a feather. And you move into the now. And when we move into the now, in this silent state, we leave the mind and the ego and the subconscious mind alone. We actually step out of them. Now we watch them. We don't judge them. We watch how they operate. And this is how we begin to master them. Because only you can do this. Only each of us with ourselves can do this. There's no manual. There's no, instructional. Only you. You choose to do it. Doesn't matter where you're at in this moment. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter what you've experienced in this life. All that matters is that you can go within. Now, a lot of us, if not all of us at one time, shape, form, or another, we'll go into the past. We reminisce. We have memories. They're great. Not all of them, but most of them are. And so we have great memories, and we kind of touch on them and embrace them, and we kind of float, and it's fun, and it's enjoyable. But we don't obsess with them. We do that, and then we move on. Now, some of us, you go into the past, you reminisce. You go into the past sometimes to learn about certain things, remind you about certain things. But you don't stay there. Some of us stay there. And it's no different than an elephant graveyard. It's all dank, and it's misty, and there's no air movement. It's foul. But we'll stay there so long that we'll end up dragging that past into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, and relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people say to themselves, no matter what we do, we always end up at the same place. Why is that? Don't live in the past. Now, others of us go into a future that doesn't exist. And we wander around, and we're always asking, when is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? When am I going to have this? When am I going to have that? What is this about? What is that about? When am I going to meet this person? When am I going to be able to do this? When am I going to have this? But the frustrating part about that is that draws expectation and attachment, and then you get disappointed because it doesn't come when you want it to come, and then you get disappointed. Then you suffer. That's why we all suffer, because we attach and we expect. Now, how do we stay in the now? Now, we all know we've got tens of millions of programmed thoughts. They're programs, and they float by, just tens of millions of them. They aren't ours. But we will embrace one, just kind of take off. Just float away in different thoughts, which aren't even ours. We all do it. None of us are exempt from it. So how do we you recognize that. And remember, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness with yourself at all times. So you remember, you say, okay, so I know I'm not in the now because I've wandered off in all these different thoughts. Well, I'll focus on my breath. Your breath is divine positive energy. It sustains the body that houses the kingdom of God. The soul powers the body when it goes in. Everything starts operating, lungs and oxygen. So your breath sustains the vessel that literally houses the soul. And it focuses us, it strengthens us, eases us, relaxes us. So it's very powerful and very divine positive energy. So we know that when we do wander, we simply focus on our breath, and we're in the now 3,000% of the time. Eventually you do this, and it'll automatically kick in. You'll say, okay, I'm staying in the now. There's that thought. Those thoughts will try to pull you away. And you'll start wandering off and past and future and stuff. And then you'll say, nope, I'm in the now. I'm in the now. Right? And focus exactly what you're doing, whatever it may be. So we relax the body. We've moved outside. We've stilled the mind and the ego and the subconscious mind. And we're just basically watching. And we've focused on the now through our breath. And then we look and see the body, because just remember that we are not the body. So you see, you can be able to look at the body, you see it. And you see these beautifully vibrant, not colors like on this planet, but way far more deeper and colorful and brilliant. There's wheels of light running through the center of that body that you're in, from the tailbone to the top of the head. All different colors. And they kind of look like flowers, different kinds of flowers. And they have little geometric shapes in the sides of them. They're balls of light. To me, they're balls of light. And they move, shimmer, mist, fog, whatever you want to view it as. And the divine, you, the God, flows through them. And it affects every organ, every tissue, every muscle, every emotion in this body. Okay? And of course, the divine positive energy with the divine God that you are flows through these energy vortexes, these chakras. So when we look, we see, and we understand that you see a red wheel of light, root chakra. It's right on the tip of it's on the coccyx. It's right on the tip of the tailbone. And what does it deal with? It deals with survival. And it's blocked by fear. Survival is money, finances, food, shelter, clothing, necessities. And what happens, we start fearing not having, right? And it has a big issue with us to be able to survive. And then we move to the orange wheel of light, the sacral chakra. This deals with our pleasure, our sexuality, ease, relaxation, joy, where you just float. You've experienced, we've all experienced this, where you just have everything just falls into place. And everything's just wonderful. It keeps coming. And you're in bliss. And you're just like giddy about it. And you just, in that moment, you're feeling so absolutely phenomenal. And then, of course, the ego mind comes in and says, this ain't going to last forever. So you better enjoy it while you can. That's the ego mind. Why wouldn't it last forever? You see, that's the guilt that says to us, well, you don't deserve to have that forever. What's wrong with you? You're being selfish and greedy. You see how those ego mind, how it comes in with those programmed thoughts? And it's basically a bunch of garbage. But it's how we've been trained. We don't need to be there anymore. We never did. And then we move to the yellow wheel of light. This is the solar plexus chakra. It deals with our willpower. We all have willpower. We focus and I'm going to get this done no matter what. And then the interesting thing is that the other illusion is it's blocked by shame. Our willpower is blocked by shame. It just freezes us right in our tracks, which is another illusion by the ego mind. And then we move to the emerald green wheel of light, the heart chakra. This is our ability to love. It is blocked by grief. You ever come across someone that's in deep, deep grief? Have you ever been in grief, deep grief? There's no way you're capable of loving. There should never be grief. Oh, you must have grief. Then we move to the blue wheel of light, throat chakra. This deals with our truth, and it is blocked by our lies. You ever feel it when you do a lie and how you feel about it, and then you do truth? Big difference, isn't it? Then we move to the indigo wheel of light. This is the third eye chakra. Deals with insight. It's blocked by illusion. And then the violet wheel of light, the crown chakra. This deals with cosmic energy, the direct divine connection with the divine, you. And it is blocked by ego attachment. That ego gets in there and it makes a mess of everything. Now, we, as the God in these bodies, and the divine positive energy, the breath, move to the top of the head. Now, we can do anything, really. And we hold ourselves for a brief moment to really, really condense our energy into pure liquid energy. We are one, we are God, and we are love. And we pour it over the pineal gland. The pineal gland is very important to us in these bodies while we're in them because of the fact that when it's fully functioning, healthy, vibrant, it connects us to all the particles of existence. All the existence and the essence and beyond that. All the pure consciousness, the God, the divine, all of it. So when we pour ourselves, the God that we are, over the pineal gland, and you look at the pineal gland, you can see it however you see it in your heart, mind's, emotion picture. I see it as a green bowl, rosebud. So when I pour over it, it immediately transforms into this massive, fully bloomed rose with just a wonderful fragrance and multicolored petals, and it's sending out, it's like a shimmer, just constantly saturating me, head to toe, inside and out. And with the fragrance and with the energy and the shimmer, it feels like light, warm rain, real mist on your skin. But it sinks in. And it fills me with this highest, this deep eternal love. I mean, it's to describe it in the language on this planet, you cannot. And it is this really deep eternal peace and gratitude that is, it's always. It's not intermittent. It's just always. And then I discover that the rose is the God within this body. And the God within this body is the rose. Oftentimes, the God within us will, along with the universe, move energy into form to remind us in a really loving way who and what we truly are. Now, these bodies, soul, higher self, spirit, heart, mind, ego mind, subconscious mind, the God, the pure consciousness, One. The soul in the body is the heaven. The body is the earth. And we are heaven on earth. And those of us who are consciously aware, to a certain extent, we know that every step we take, we're creating paradise. Every step. Endlessly. We also know that we've learned to shine our light, the God light within us, outward. We don't hide it. We don't suppress it. We just freely open up and expand 360 degrees in every direction. And understand, those of us who are consciously aware are flooding all of our brothers and sisters, all the parts of us that are asleep, and all the parts of us that are awake. Non-stop, head to toe, inside and out, all over this planet. On it, in it, above it, and below it. And this isn't a short thing, this is always. So if you, or when you choose, you could look at this planet from afar and you would see that it would glow with the most deep and eternal light that you could ever manifest and beyond. And so you have a God paradise planet that glows brighter than the brightest star in all existence, that can be seen in all existence and beyond. Now, we make sense that we're all part of each other, and some of us are not awake. Some of the parts of us are not awake. Some are. So we seek out those who are, the other parts of us. So it's obvious that we would call out to all of the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Yet only those that are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form this circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. That includes all the ones on this planet Earth. Gaia Arya. On it, in it, above it, and below it. Now, they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this entire universe with not even an inch of sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of Gugaplexes from trillions of universes. Now, the ones on this planet, we're kind of familiar with. We aren't sure if they exist, of course, but they do. And those are the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the dwarves, the gnomes, the trees, the forests, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Now, the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is on this planet. So the shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations we don't see. We sense. And in the Gugaplexes, they are with us now. Call upon all the off-worlders, all the celestials, all the galactic. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Now, we're only familiar with a few of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Andromedans, the Arcturians, the Sirians, the Felines, Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. And of course, we're reaching out to those parts of us that are consciously aware. Now, they've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And in the billions, they are with us now, consciously. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. Yet, only those who are of and from consciously aware that they're of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. And they come into billions, and they are with us now consciously. Call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. The archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, we reach out to them. Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. Many, many, many more. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet. Now, the archangels are a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. We don't see them like we see each other. But we meet with them all the time. We pass them, they make comments, we talk, we're in interactions. It doesn't really, unless you're really in tuned or focused, you just kind of have a feeling, that might have been an angel. And they all have the same message, they just deliver it in numerous ways. It is absolutely spectacular, magnificent, divine, magna-glorious, superb to be in these bodies, alive, every second, bliss. Now, tens of thousands can surround any one of us at any one time. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. The Ascended Masters, they've mastered ascension into physical form, and out of physical form, hold pure God form, pure consciousness. We are mastering physical form. And we are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And along the way, some of us just might discover that we are the light. We don't follow the light, we are the light. So when we decide to leave these bodies, we will know we are the light. And we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God source within each and every one of us. This light is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1,000 trillion suns just to compare to its brilliance. And this light is the absolute highest of the highest high, the purest of the purest pure, and the deepest of the deepest, deepest eternal love. And it is flooding this planet. It is flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, head to toe, inside now, on and above and below, endlessly, eternally, infinity. Now we begin to ascend above this planet. We come into full contact with this massive ocean of glitter. And there's just infinity numbers of vibrant colored flashes, beams of light reflecting off of all of us, gathered in this meditation, consciously aware. So we go and we see the point of reflection, these microscopic little mirrors. We enter them and we discover that all of us gathered here in this meditation are teaching each other and learning from each other. So we're teachers and we're students. Students and teachers, teachers and students, and it just continues. It's phenomenal. More bliss. We're met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. It is the column of light that we created to remind all of ourselves that we are the power of healing. We were then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind ourselves of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind ourselves that we are imbued head to toe, inside and out, eternally, with a white fire armor way beyond anybody's understanding of what armor is. It emanates from the divine, the gods that we are within these bodies. It is so powerful, it cannot be penetrated. It cannot be affected. It cannot be manipulated. It cannot be fooled. No demon attachments, no attachments whatsoever, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Nothing ever can harm us. But only you have the power, only you, that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, your hatred, anger, fear, worry, stress, envy, anxiety, hurriedness, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, we are immediately met with two columns of light. The purple transmuting flame and the violet ray. We created these to remind ourselves that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, send them to pure consciousness where they're literally vaporized no more. Then the violet ray right behind. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were. sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony into the highest of the highest high of the deepest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with golden light, pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the sunlight. The sun sets, the sun rises. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the soils, the animals. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you're viewing a sunset or a sunrise, a starry lit night sky, clouds moving across the sky, you're the beauty, you're the divineness, you're the spectacular anthem of creation. We are everything. We continue to ascend above this planet. Some of us step outside our physical form, hover effortlessly above them. If we're carrying physical form, why do we do this? Because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. It's larger than the solar system. We created it. In the center is this massive oblong sphere with a golden white bowl of light. It is surrounded by countless rings of vibrantly colored light. And all of this is saturating all of us. And the golden white ball of light is the highest of the deepest, purest love. Then comes the highest of the deepest, purest gratitude. The highest of the deepest, purest peace. Gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, abundance, prosperity, great wealth, great abundance, great well-being, endless. And we discover that it is a reflection of the gods that we all are. Now, at the top, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it continues to do right now. Again, flooding us all with the deep, pure, eternal love that makes us all. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, on this planet, in it, above it, and below it, being saturated with this purest, deepest, eternal love. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. And the golden ocean is the drops, and the drops are the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We all created this sphere over 3 years ago. It houses nearly 1,500 of our meditations in perpetual motion. All of us gathered, over 1 billion now, on and off world. And all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, consciously aware. To a certain extent. And all these meditations, all these intents, from all of us, all from the heart minds, all from the God within, flooding this entire planet, inside and out, head to toe, with the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. The actual fabric of vibrational frequencies has increased to the extent where the liberation of this planet is now on the downhill, not the up. This is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. Bliss is the highest dimension of joy. The first is pleasure. That is animal. The second is happiness. That is human. And bliss is divine. I'll join you in meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. First, become contented. Then your very life will become a source of joy for others. First, become contented. Then your very life will become a source of joy for others. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. We shall return here July 13th, Tuesday, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation.